everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we are getting into something really, really cool and I think really important, which is brain health.
Yeah?
Specifically, how to keep it sharp, how to keep your brain healthy. And there's this really awesome framework that we are going to explore called SHIELD.
Cool.
Yeah, it comes from an article by NeuroReserve Inc.
Yeah.
And actually, they've got a supplement called Relevate, but we're going to be focusing on the meat of their article, which is all about simple everyday things that you can do for your brain.
Right.
So, yeah, SHIELD. I mean, that's kind of a cool name.
It is.
And it was developed by Dr. Rudolph Tanzi at the McCants Center for Brain Health. And each letter stands for a key area. We're going to go through each one.
Awesome.
So it starts with S, which is for sleep. And we've all heard, get your 7 to 8 hours a million times.
Yeah, it's almost cliche at this point.
Totally right. But like, is there any truth to it? Does it really make that much of a difference?
Absolutely, it does. The article really emphasizes how crucial sleep is for memory and waste removal in the brain. So while we sleep, our brains are busy consolidating memories. They're clearing out toxins. It's essentially like a whole system reboot.
Wow. So it's not just about like waking up feeling rested. It's about giving our brains the downtime they need to like optimally function.
Right.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed that when I'm sleep deprived, like my thinking is foggy. I'm way more irritable.
For sure.
It's not pretty.
Yeah. And there's actually a growing body of research that shows that chronic sleep deprivation can have long-term consequences for brain health.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can increase the risk of cognitive decline
Yeah.
and even neurodegenerative diseases.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just about feeling our best in the moment. It's about protecting our brains for the long haul.
Exactly.
Gosh. Okay. Well, that's a good motivator to get to bed early.
And it's not just about quantity either. The article mentions the quality of sleep matters too.
Right.
So are you tossing and turning all night? Or are you waking up feeling refreshed and ready to go?
That's a really good point. Yeah, maybe this deep dive is a good reminder to all of us to take a look at our sleep hygiene.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so moving on to H in SHIELD, which stands for handling stress.
Okay.
Now, I'm all for a little bit of healthy stress. It keeps us on our toes, right?
Keeps you motivated.
But when it becomes chronic, that's when things start to go downhill,
Yeah.
for our mental and physical well-being. But what does the article say about the specific impact of chronic stress on the brain?
So this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The article highlights how chronic stress can actually shrink the hippocampus.
Wait, really? Shrinkage?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It's a key area of the brain involved in learning and memory.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So it is concerning, but it highlights the importance of stress management for brain health.
Yeah.
And chronic stress also triggers a cascade of hormonal changes that can impair memory function, increase the risk of mental health issues, and even accelerate brain aging.
So it's not just about like feeling stressed out. There are actual physiological changes happening in our brains.
Exactly.
Are there any particular techniques that are mentioned in the article that we can use to combat this?
Yeah, they mention meditation and managing expectations as potential tools.
Yeah.
And they also talk about how important it is to identify your personal stress triggers so you can develop strategies for coping with them effectively.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you know what sets you off, you can either avoid those triggers or have a plan in place to manage them.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move on to I in SHIELD, which stands for interaction with friends.
Interesting.
And this one, I have to say, really piqued my curiosity because it seems like something that we don't often associate with brain health.
Yeah.
Like I think of, diet and exercise and sleep, but like hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with brain health?
So it might seem counterintuitive,
Mm-hmm.
but our brains actually evolved for social interaction.
Mm.
Think about it. For most of human history, survival depended on cooperation and strong social bonds.
Right.
Our brains are actually wired to thrive in social settings.
So it's not just about having fun with friends. There's a deeper evolutionary purpose to it.
Exactly. And those interactions challenge our brains in ways that keep them sharp.
Okay.
We're constantly observing social cues. We're remembering faces and names, processing language. It's like a mental workout.
So maybe ditching the crossword puzzle and calling up a friend is actually better for our brains.
It could be.
But what about those of us who are introverts?
Right.
Does forcing ourselves to be social actually backfire?
That's a great question. And, it's important to acknowledge that everyone has different social needs.
Of course.
Introverts might find large gatherings draining, but that doesn't mean that they should isolate themselves completely.
Right.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where you feel connected and engaged without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think the key takeaway here is that social connection isn't just a nice to have. It's actually crucial for maintaining a healthy, active brain.
Okay, wow. I'm getting a whole new appreciation for my social life.
Yeah,
All right, so we've covered sleep, stress management, social interaction.
right.
What's next in our SHIELD journey?
Next up is E,
Okay.
which stands for, you guessed it, exercise.
Okay.
And this one's all about getting your body moving to benefit your brain.
Okay. E for exercise. And I have to admit, this is the one I'm always most excited to hear about.
Yeah,
Because I love a good workout, but I never really thought about it as like a brain booster, you know?
it absolutely is.
Really?
The article really dives into how both endurance and resistance exercises work wonders for your brain. It's not just about physical fitness.
But how does that work? Like, does pumping iron really make you smarter?
Well, not quite that simple,
Okay.
but exercise does increase blood flow to the brain, delivering a surge of oxygen and nutrients.
Okay.
It also stimulates the production of a protein called BDNF, which is like miracle grow for your brain cells.
Oh, wow. So it literally helps our brains grow, even in adulthood.
That's right. BDNF supports neuroplasticity,
Neuroplasticity.
which is the brain's incredible ability to adapt and form new connections throughout our lives.
This was not just about preventing decline, it's about actively promoting growth and improvement.
Exactly. And that's why exercise is so crucial for maintaining cognitive function as we age. It's like investing in your brain to future.
Wow, this is making me want to hit the gym right now.
Yeah.
But are there any specific types of exercise that are particularly beneficial for the brain?
That's the great thing. A variety of exercises can benefit the brain.
Okay.
The article mentions that activities like brisk walking, dancing, swimming, and cycling are great for boosting cardiovascular health,
Okay.
which in turn supports brain function.
So getting our heart rate up is key.
Yeah.
What about strength training? Does that have any impact on the brain?
Absolutely. So resistance training like lifting weights or using resistance bands helps build muscle mass, which is important for overall health.
Right.
But research has shown that it can have a positive impact on cognitive function, particularly in older adults.
So it's not just about looking good, it's about keeping our brains sharp.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see a theme here, like everything that's good for the body is good for the brain.
That's a great observation. And it makes sense when you consider that the brain is an organ just like any other organ in the body.
Right.
It needs the right fuel, it needs the right stimulation, and the right care to function at its best.
This is so empowering, because it means we have a lot more control over our brain health than we might realize.
Exactly. It's not just about genetics or luck.
Mm-hmm.
Our everyday choices have a huge impact.
Okay, I'm ready for the next letter in SHIELD. What do we got?
The next one is L,
Mhm.
which stands for learning new things.
Learning new things.
Yeah, and this is where we tap into the brain's incredible capacity for growth and adaptation.
Learning new things, that sounds a bit broad.
It is.
What exactly does that entail?
So it's about keeping your brain engaged and challenged.
Okay.
It could be anything from learning a new language or instrument
Right.
to taking up a new hobby, reading challenging books, or even just engaging in stimulating conversations.
So it's about stepping outside of our comfort zones and constantly exposing our brains to new information and experiences.
Exactly. And the reason this is so important is because it helps build what's called cognitive reserve.
Cognitive reserve.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this cognitive reserve.
So think of it like a mental savings account
Okay.
that you can draw on as you age.
Gotcha.
Essentially, the more you challenge your brain throughout life, the more resilient it becomes to age-related cognitive decline and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
So it's like giving our brains extra protection against those conditions.
That's the idea. Studies have shown that people with higher cognitive reserve are better able to maintain their cognitive function even if they experience brain changes associated with aging or disease.
Wow, so even if there are things that we can't control, like genetics, we can still take steps to protect our brains by building up this reserve.
Exactly. And the best part is it's never too late to start learning and challenging yourself. The brain is incredibly adaptable even in later life.
Man, this is giving me so many ideas. I've always wanted to learn Italian and take up pottery.
There you go.
Maybe now's the time.
Embrace that curiosity. And don't be afraid to try new things. Your brain will thank you for it.
All right, we're on a roll. What's the final piece of the SHIELD puzzle?
Last but not least, we have D, which stands for diet.
Okay.
And this one is all about nourishing your brain with the right foods.
Diet. Okay, this is where I'm all ears because let's be honest, food is a big part of life.
Yeah,
And if I can eat my way to a healthier brain, I am so there.
absolutely.
So what does the article suggest?
Well, it specifically mentions that Dr. Tanzi recommends the Mediterranean and MIND diets
Okay.
for optimal brain health.
I've heard of the Mediterranean diet,
Yeah.
but what exactly is the MIND diet?
So the MIND diet's actually a hybrid of the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet,
Okay.
which is specifically designed to lower blood pressure.
Oh, interesting. So it kind of combines the best of both worlds.
Exactly. And it's specifically tailored to focus on foods that have been shown to protect brain function and reduce the risk of cognitive decline.
Mm.
It emphasizes leafy greens, berries, nuts, beans, fish, poultry olive oil,
Okay.
and even allows for a moderate amount of wine.
Ooh, now that's a diet I can get behind.
Right.
So it's not about deprivation or crazy restrictions. It's about making smart choices that nourish our brain.
Exactly. It's about incorporating foods that are rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory compounds, all of which play a crucial role in protecting brain cells from damage.
Makes sense. So what would you say are like the key takeaways when it comes to diet and brain health?
I think the most important thing is to focus on whole, unprocessed foods.
Okay.
That means plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats.
So ditch the processed junk food and opt for real nutrient-dense foods. Exactly.
That's a message I can definitely get behind.
And don't underestimate the power of small changes.
Right.
You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight.
Of course.
Start by incorporating a few brain-boosting foods into your meals each day,
Yeah.
and gradually make those changes more sustainable.
So we've covered all 6 pillars of the SHIELD framework: sleep handling, stress interaction with friends, exercise, learning new things, and diet.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these everyday choices can have such a profound impact on our brain health.
It is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's so empowering about this framework is that it gives us concrete steps we can take to protect our cognitive function and maintain a healthy brain throughout our lives.
It's like having a roadmap to brain health, and it's surprisingly simple to follow. It's not about drastic overhauls or complicated regimens. It's about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time.
And remember, it's never too late to start incorporating these strategies into your life.
Right.
Your brain is incredibly adaptable, and it's always ready to benefit from healthy habits. So as we wrap up this deep dive into brain health, I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
Knowing these 6 pillars of brain health, what one step will you take today to start protecting your brain for the future? It could be setting a consistent bedtime, reaching out to a friend, adding an extra serving of veggies to your dinner, or signing up for that online course you've been eyeing.
Right.
Remember, even small steps can make a big difference when it comes to brain health. So choose one action, commit to it, and watch your brain power soar.
Love it.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of brain health. Until next time, keep those brains sharp and keep exploring the fascinating world around you.